And that would bring my total to 30 minutes, 2 hours, 2:30. Okay. Oh man, is that late? I gotta be faster than on the bike. Okay, I'm changing that. My bike has to be under 1:45. Probably about a marathon's worth of exertion with not a marathon level of training. Is this it? This feels like the run.
Yeah.
Shoot. Alright, so I am super pumped and a little nervous. I signed myself up a few months ago to the Xterra Triathlon in Victoria here in the island. And yeah, like I said, I'm super pumped, but a little nervous. I don't feel prepared, but I think that's kind of the point of this. The point of me signing up for this triathlon wasn't to race, compete, place in my age category. There's no way. At 36, I would be anywhere near the top of that. There's some primo athletes in that age group. And yeah, the goal is just to see if I can finish. Yeah, so today was my last open water swim session, and I brought out the wetsuit and the goggles and the swim cap, just kind of what I would have racing. And I kind of practiced a few things that generally happen during the race. I've been in races where my goggles have been kicked off by somebody, and I've been able to put them back on, but there's water in them, so you need to flip over and dump the water and get them back on. So I practiced that. I practiced turning. I practiced sighting, so seeing where something is and just making sure, like a buoy, like in the race there'll be a buoy you have to go around. So sighting where the buoy is and being as straight as possible, because if you start doing this, all of a sudden you're adding 10 meters here, 4 meters there, 10 meters here, and all of a sudden your 1,500 meter race becomes over 2,000 meters because you're swerving. So working on those types of things, but I felt really good in the suit. I was super pumped it fit. I was feeling a little under tall when I was trying it on, but yeah, it fits barely, but zipper went up, so I was pumped. And yeah, the swim, feeling pretty good. All right, so when I'm done in the water, I'm gonna be coming up on the land. Some things I have to keep in mind for my own personal race is that when I get out of the water, I tend to be quite dizzy. It's a very different type of breath work in the water. You're rocking back and forth, your head's coming up and looking for things in the distance. I find I get out of the water and I'm quite dizzy. What I need to focus on in this race is just get out of the water, goggles off, get the zipper ready, pull it down, and just walk up or slightly light jog to the transition area, get my bike kit on and take off when I'm ready. At this point, my bike kit's gonna include an actual bike jersey that goes on top of my skin suit. That'll go under my wetsuit. The reason for that is because the skin suit that you wear in triathlons generally only has like one small pocket in the back here, unless you want to start shoving things in places, which I don't. So I'd rather take a jersey that has the 3 big pockets in the back filled with what I need, snacks, Gatorade, maybe a repair kit, and just have that on me. It's a trail run, so it's hard to pace yourself. So just giving it some good energy when I have it, and not being afraid to just hike if I have to. All right, so what results would make me happy? Finishing would be 100% primo. Under 4 hours would be great. But what would make me ecstatic? Running through the numbers here. The swim will be 1,500 meters. So the best will be doing it in 18, 19 minutes. If I can do it in under 30 minutes, I'll be happy. But my guess is, because I'm going to do it so relaxed into the outside and probably adding a few meters, I'll be around that 30, 32 minute for the swim. I'd be happy with that. Moving on to the bike. This is my strong sport, but it's also one I have to pace myself or I won't do the run. So 24 kilometers trail run that I've never ridden on these trails before. I'd be happy with 2 hours. Even just over 2 hours would be okay with me. Again, we'll just see how it goes. I don't have any benchmarks. This is my benchmark for any future races. The run, by far my weakest. Just not get injured. Not get injured, keep moving, walk as little as possible. Second lap now. Super pumped I didn't have to go all the way down to the water again. First lap was terrible. I was just exhausted from the swim and it felt like I was being springboarded by everybody, but it tends to be a lot of the people doing the sprint triathlon. They start just after us, and the pros even are probably at that point where they're lapping me. Yeah, second lap here feels way better. Legs are into it, head's into it. This congestion, all good. Next year I need to pack more water and Gatorade and bigger bottles, and even looking at using some gels. I'm sweating so much. Ugh. All right, so unsurprisingly, the Xterra full championship triathlon was a wake-up call. Unsurprisingly, I didn't do super well at it. Right now I'm just at Mount Washington Bike Park where I can take chairlifts up, and that seems to be easier. But yeah, I'll walk you through quickly the race there and how it went and didn't go. But yeah, so summary of the training I did for this thing, general fitness of biking and snowboarding and doing the odd trail ride, but not really pushing myself or having any sort of training in mind. Swimming, I think I got 2 swims in the pool where I did 1,500 meters. Made sure I could do it in the pool. Then I did 2 open water swims, one with a wetsuit, one without, both around 1,500 meters. So I knew I could do the swim. I knew I wouldn't do it fast, but that was okay. As far as biking, I've probably gotten 12 to 15 bikes in this year. I'd say 2 of them were really hard, what I would call training rides. The rest are kind of casual 3 to 6-year-old guy rides. They're good. But yeah, that was probably the most I trained for. And 1 run with a kid's chariot for 5K. That obviously wasn't enough. As soon as I stepped up to the water, I was clearly the most unfit, visibly. Everybody was just ripped, it seemed, in this championship level of the Xterra. Nobody seemed to sign up for it just to say they could do it. They all were there to race, and the end time clearly showed that. Swim starts, I'm way off on the right side. I'm in no rush. There's a couple other guys that were eager on the swim, so they were over there too. We kind of formed our own little second group, so it seemed like there was two groups going. The first lap of the swim just felt like I was being passed by everybody, but I knew I just had to keep it steady. Even if it was an extra minute or two on the day, I didn't really care. Got through the swim, first lap. The second lap, you had to get out of the water, which everyone was so dizzy. And I waddled over to the water again and down like this little kind of rooty cliff embankment into the water. Started the second lap. On the second lap, I felt like a hero because I was actually passing people in the swim. So I passed like 5 or 6 people, and that felt really good. Got on the bike, took my time in the transition, got on it, headed out. Started on the highway, and then you hit this long, steep gravel road that I can do, but that takes a lot out of me. So I did this long uphill, everyone did, a long uphill gravel road. And by the time you get to the top or downhill, your legs are super tired. And I was setting the day up to have some legs left for the run that I knew I wasn't going to be great at. So what I ended up doing was, just taking it easy on the climb. Then when I got to the top, my legs were still tired. It didn't help. Did the downhill. That was okay. A couple ups and downs. That was okay. Then the second lap really killed me. It kind of took out a ton of energy out of me. And I knew it was. My quads were starting to cramp up, which was not good. And I recognized I still had a run to go. So I said, that's it. I'm just going to level 1 here. I'm not going to push it too hard. And then I started on the run, and that was just didn't turn out well. I didn't have time to finish the run, so I DNF'd the Xterra, which is kind of sad, but also kind of a wake-up call. So I'm going to actually train for the next one.